Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy ShawnFromNVY back with another video. Real quick before we get into this video, I want to thank everyone who subscribed to this channel, everyone who sent super thanks, everyone who signed up for memberships. We're currently sitting at 1,755 subscribers. None of this would be possible without you guys. I do have merch available and I will be posting discount codes for all members. Alright, let's get to the video. So I've been in work the last couple days and I haven't been able to really drop any content. I'm not one of those YouTube content creators who just post videos to be posting videos. Anytime I do a video, it's because I really want to do the video. I don't post videos about every little thing that goes on. Here lately, I have been posting a lot of the WNBA news, and you guys seem to like that stuff, so I'm gonna try to keep that going. But if it's not much going on with it, I'm not gonna just be posting videos about it. It takes me time to make these videos. I don't have no team behind me. All of this is just me. So I seen this article from Wall Street Journal Style, and they did an article with Reese and A'ja Wilson. Now I'm not subscribed to their online website, so it won't allow me to read the full article. But besides that, they both did interviews that's posted on YouTube. I kind of want to go through those videos real quick. I'm just gonna pick certain parts that kind of pique my interest. I haven't seen neither of the interviews just yet, so I'm watching this live with you guys.
A job interview is something that I never imagined. Never had a job interview before. I would be so nervous.
One thing I can say about A'ja Wilson, this may not be a popular opinion, but I'm just gonna say this because I'm not an A'ja Wilson hater, right? I'm not one of those people that just don't like her for no reason. I just don't think she's marketable. I give her credit for her amazing talent, but the more I see A'ja Wilson, especially off the court, I like her style. Comparing A'ja Wilson off the court style versus Reese off the court style, I like A'ja Wilson. I think the more we see her off the court, it's a possibility that she could be likable. I mean, judging from the clips we just seen so far, she's a nice looking woman. I mean, as much as we don't like certain things about A'ja Wilson, some things you can't deny from her. And I'm just being fair, unbiased. It may be unpopular, but it's my opinion.
A'ja,
Yes.
Impressive resume.
Thank you.
Two-time defending WNBA champion, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, the 2024 MVP award, who also recently won another gold medal.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
That's good. That's good. I'll give it it's alright. I mean, nothing too crazy. But definitely something I'm super proud about. From a young girl that absolutely hated to sweat and wanted nothing to do with basketball to now look at me now, it's definitely a blessing.
How would you characterize this chapter of your career?
It's prime time. I feel like we all know prime time. It's like not the glitz and the glamour, but it's one of those moments where you really feel yourself. You're like, no, I belong here. I have a sense of belonging. These moments, they don't come by often. And so when you can enjoy it and you can live in it, and also I think, particularly for the Black woman, it's very hard for us to wear our crown happily. Like, yeah, and own it. I feel like sometimes, and even as women, we have to hide and kind of withdraw ourselves from that. So I feel like right now in my career, I'm in my prime time moment where I'm like rocking that crown and I'm like, no, I'm here. This is my space. This is what God has written me to do. And I'm loving it.
Now, hey, I can't argue with that. Even though some people will give you the debate that Napheesa Collier should have won MVP. I'm not gonna say she should have won MVP. I don't think A'ja Wilson should have been the unanimous MVP. I think some of those votes should have went to Napheesa because she did have an incredible season too. But I can't deny anything that A'ja Wilson has done this year. She balled out. I mean, you gotta get credit where credit's due.
Where does your ambition come from?
My ambition comes from, I would have to say, just the future generation. Laying a foundation down for them, planting seeds for them to know that they can achieve anything and do it their way. Just knowing that a young girl's like, oh my gosh, I love A'ja Wilson. I'm like, like, be yourself. But it's huge. It's a big deal. And so for me to show up every single time that I can for them, that's where my ambition comes from.
You also recently played against rookie Angel Reese.
Yeah.
I've heard that one of her first WNBA games was to see you play.
Oh, dope. I didn't know that. It's been super cool to play against her. Obviously, I've watched her throughout her collegiate career, even when back in Maryland. My good friend actually was coaching her at that time. So that's how I honestly started to follow Angel. And I saw a little bit of myself in her. No matter what I do, I'm gonna make sure that I go all out and I give it 100%. And I saw that just the motor that she has, I was like, oh yeah, that is young A'ja 100%. But for her to want to, for all these years to still rebound the basketball, is something that's really her and true to her. So I hope she never loses that.
Now, the A'ja Wilson comparison to Angel Reese. I don't know if this is a passing the torch moment or if I was to pass a torch, this is who I would pass it to. I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying this for a while, and I believe I said it in my last video about Angel Reese. If Angel Reese was to lock in the gym, get in the lab, and really lock in and hone her talents, develop a shot, work on her defense. I can't deny her rebounding. A lot of folks gonna say she catches her own rebounds, cool, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, she has a nose for the ball. She can have 3 or 4 people around her, and for some reason, she'll still come out with that rebound. That's not a bad thing. The bad part about it is when she puts it back up, she should be able to make that instead of missing it and grabbing it all over again, which is the stat pattern that we all talk about. But if she was to master the putback at least, and develop a mid-range shot, and also a 3-point shot wouldn't hurt neither. And don't let me forget, Angel Reese has to learn how to dribble the ball. Because I've seen her on a fast break with the ball too many times, double dribbling. If she can work on her dribbling up the court, Angel Reese will be okay. She's one of the people who on court does have potential to be nice, but she's allowing everything else around her to be priority besides working on her game.
This season, the WNBA opened with the highest attendance in 26 years. What has this boom in attention been like for you as someone who's been in the league?
It's just been fun. Whether it's the constant chatter on social or just the competition level is rising within our league. But I feel like we were also in a space where it was like, okay, it's about time everyone got on this train. Like, we've been shouting from the rooftops this whole time. I'm loving it, but I also pray that it's sustained, that people are genuinely wanting to invest into players, into teams, into just the ways that we live, because we're bigger than just basketball players, and I think that goes a long way. So it's been tons of fun playing in it, in this league, always, but definitely this year's probably I've had the most fun.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all would agree with this. Now, this was an opportunity to extend an olive branch to Caitlin Clark. For some reason, these veteran players in the WNBA, not all of them, but a lot of them, they try their best to ignore the Caitlin Clark effect. They only want to mention the Caitlin Clark effect when it comes down to racism or racist fans or trolls. But when it comes down to the success of the viewership or the success of having new fans, new eyes on you, they never want to mention the Caitlin Clark effect. They never want to give her props for bringing eyes to the game. Even though with those eyes, it became some rotten apples, right? But the fact of the matter is there are new fans who came to the game, and not all of the new fans are Caitlin Clark fans per se, right? I know some people who came in on that Caitlin Clark wave of new fans, but they end up liking Minnesota. They end up liking the LA Sparks. They end up fanning their team. Like I said, I'm in Virginia. So the closest team for me, what I'm supposed to rep if I'm repping my hometown, would be the Washington Mystics. I've always liked the Washington Mystics, even though right now they're not doing much. Caitlin Clark brought me back to the WNBA to watch all the games, be honest with you. I'm not gonna tell y'all I just watch Caitlin Clark games. I watch whatever games is on TV when I catch them. I prioritize watching Caitlin Clark games. If a Fever game is on the TV and the Aces game is on the TV, I'm gonna watch the Fever's game over the Aces game. If the Fever's not playing and the Mystics are playing or LA Sparks are playing, I'm probably gonna watch whichever game has the best matchup for me. So I'm still watching the WNBA. So now all new fans are Caitlin Clark fans. And that's okay. That's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever is wrong with that. But we do have to acknowledge that the fact that a lot of new people are watching is because of Caitlin Clark.
What legacy do you hope to leave on the league?
I am literally living my career dream, more so than I ever could have imagined, whether that's winning 2 gold medals or winning 2 championships. I feel like that is my career dream, is to always just be in the conversations of the best and always top tier behavior. So if that's where I am today, then I'm living it. And that, I think that just goes over to my legacy. Like, I want people to always say, like, oh my gosh, she was amazing on the court, like, great basketball player, but the type of person that she was, helping the next person, is me. Like, I want my legacy to be that. Like, this basketball is gonna stop bouncing, but inside, the type of person that I am inside is going to live on forever. So that's my dream. It's just to carry that legacy, however far it will take me, and just have fun in it, never losing my joy in the game. And 100 rating on NBA 2K. Can't forget about that one.
Now that's cool and all. I had no problem with anything she said. My thing is this: she speaks on the person that she is. If you want more people to like you and to find you likable and to know that, you know what, I'm not a bad person, I'm a good person. All of this trying to discredit or ignore or not so much acknowledge Caitlin Clark, it's not putting you in a place where people can see that what you just saying. If you can extend an olive branch to Angel Reese, who just entered the WNBA, why we don't see the same thing from Caitlin Clark? Who was the best out of the draft? I would think the best would want to be around the best to sharpen their skills. Now I understand there's an unwritten rule of supporting your own, and maybe she's on that wave of trying to support Angel Reese, another black sister. I get it. right? But at the end of the day, we gotta get past the color of our skin and base this around the game. People would love to see A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark on the same team one day. A popular/unpopular opinion would be, as much as people don't want to see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on the same team, if we were to see them on the same team, it probably would be a sight in basketball to watch. Because as we say, Caitlin Clark makes everyone around her better. If we're talking about how Angel Reese has potential, imagine what that potential could grow into if she was with the best person who makes everyone around her better. Just a thought. Don't kill me in the comments. It's just a thought. Now, on the flip side of that, we also got an interview from Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese talks Caitlin Clark and the Met Gala and more things. We're probably not gonna talk about the Met Gala and all that other kind of stuff, but I do want to see the parts where she touch on Caitlin Clark.
How you doing?
Great.
These all like the
Old magazines, yeah, you can look through them after.
Now, this is probably gonna be the first time you ever hear me say this. Angel Reese doesn't look bad right here. She looks pretty decent. I'm always saying she looks like Sid to me. I still think she looks like Sid to me. So I'm gonna cut her some slack this video. I'm gonna stall out. We gotta be honest with it. Some stuff we can't lie about, some stuff we can't be delusional about. Let's not be those delusional people, but let's just be fair about this one, you guys.
Angel, just 1 year in the WNBA, and you already have a very extensive resume.
Yes.
How would you characterize this moment in your career?
Entering my name into the draft was a big decision for me. And then coming in, I mean, my expectations have gone through the roof. I've broken a lot of records, and I actually named All-Stars. That wasn't on my list either. So just trying to give myself some grace, because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet. But also kind of patting myself in the back, telling myself that I'm still doing great.
What has been the most important game in your career?
My national championship game, that changed my life. Seeing 9.9 million people watch that game, from a hand gesture to just winning to everything that happened, changed women's basketball forever. My life literally completely just changed from that game.
Now, I will say, I had to go back and listen to all of the things regarding that hand gesture, right? Like when Caitlin first did it and everything. It's crazy to me to think that Caitlin Clark did that gesture to her strength coach, but people thought it was to the Van Leaf girl, in which Angel Reese took it upon herself to make it personal. Now, this is when I would call someone an opportunist. Something that wasn't even meant for your team, even if you assumed it to be meant for your teammate, you took it upon yourself to take it personal and aim it towards Caitlin Clark. That sounds like an opportunist. Now, I'm not saying being an opportunist is a bad thing. It obviously gave her the attention she wanted. It put her in the position that she wanted to be in. And all last season, she tried her best to stay relevant off of something that happened prior to, that had nothing to do with her or her teammate, something that was meant for her strength coach. And even when Caitlin put that out, she still took it and ran with it. It's an opportunist. But hey, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to get where you wanna go. I mean, who am I to judge anybody, right?
And you talked about the hand gesture. How do you reflect on that moment?
Me and Caitlin have been playing against each other since we were kids. It's just a full circle moment of how women are viewed when it comes to trash talking, and it's okay in men's sports, so we're gonna normalize that in women's sports as well. So it's just super competitive. I think we're two great competitors.
And you talked about the hand gesture. How do you reflect on that moment?
Me and Caitlin have been playing against each other since we were kids. It's just a full circle moment of how women are viewed when it comes to trash talking, and it's okay in men's sports, so we're gonna normalize that in women's sports as well. So it's just super competitive. I think we're two great competitors. We brought a lot of fans to this league, and I think we're gonna continue to do that, and one day hopefully we can be teammates.
How do you handle the comparison off the court?
I try to separate myself from everybody else and try to be me and not focus on what everybody else is doing. I think that's why people love me for who I am, is because I'm not the same as the next person. And I think that's special. You don't want the same person. You don't want everybody to be the same. And just to being able to step out of my comfort zone and being able to speak on things that a lot of others may not be wanting to speak on, or just being able to do things a lot of people are scared to do. I think being able to wake up every day and know that I inspire a lot of young women is just something I look forward to do.
Y'all, we gotta be honest real quick. As much as we know to be fact that Caitlin Clark brought a lot of people to the WNBA. She brought a lot of people back to the WNBA, and she brought a lot of new fans. As much as this pains me to say, Angel Reese does have her fair share of fans as well. I know we gotta sit on that for a minute. She did herself bring new eyes to the league. It may have been more of black people culturally, as well as Caitlin Clark brought a lot of white fans to the league. Caitlin Clark also has a lot of black fans as well. The part that sounds delusional to me is for Angel Reese to think that she brought just as many fans as Caitlin Clark brought to the league. If I had to rate this, I would say Caitlin Clark is responsible for 80% of the new fans and returning fans of the WNBA. Angel Reese, 10%, and all the other rookies, the last 10%. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. If I'm being reasonable, let me know. You know what, Shawn, you being reasonable. That's where I think the delusion lies with Angel Reese. Her thinking she brought just as many fans as Caitlin Clark did to the league. If you disagree with me, argue that with your mother. No one wants to give Caitlin Clark the credit for what she's done for this basketball league this year. And to me, that's sad to say.
Recently played against Asia Wilson. What advice has she given you?
Yeah, I love Asia. I've been inspired by her since I was literally young. I've had conversations with her when I was at Maryland, when I was a freshman, and she was already in the league. I just love being able to see a woman in sports that thrives through everything, and just knowing that like it wasn't an easy journey for her. It has never been an easy journey for me. So just being able to look after her and look at her and see like that's where I want to be one day, and just thrive and walk in her footsteps, because she's laid the ground for me to be able to do that. And she's been nothing but an inspiration to me. She's been joyful to me. She's always been like somebody that I can call and be there for. So I just love that about her.
What's really the issue with players having this same kind of love or respect for Caitlin Clark? Now, when asked, they're gonna say they do, but we've yet to see any of it. This all season, we have yet to see anyone outside of Indiana Fever connect with Caitlin Clark. And I wonder why is that? And that's why they run with the narrative of players being jealous or players hating on Caitlin Clark. But I don't know, you guys saying what you think about this interview. I didn't think it was bad. I will say that the Asia Wilson interview showed me more of her personality. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of warming up to her. I don't know, well, both of these two, I guess, kind of beat around not really giving Caitlin Clark the credit that she deserves for a lot of things that she did in this league this year. It gives off they still got a little hate in their blood, but who knows what next season will bring. Maybe next season they could link up with Caitlin and do more things with her. I feel like for Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark to both have Nike deals, I would hope that Nike's working on some kind of campaign to show unity between those two, to show that one isn't jealous or envious of the other. If the WNBA can step on the narrative of players not liking Caitlin Clark or being jealous of Caitlin Clark by showing players being around Caitlin Clark, by showing players being involved with Caitlin Clark and what she has going on, that would get rid of a lot of the trolls and racist comments you do see going on around here. Now, not saying Caitlin Clark fan base is racist. I'm in the fan base. I'm not racist. We eventually got to get rid of those people. It's tainting the fan base for people who are fans of Caitlin Clark, the people who use her name to get hateful things off, to get negative comments off, or racist or prejudiced comments off in the name of Caitlin Clark is totally unacceptable. Caitlin Clark fan base is not racist. And a lot of it doesn't come from just that. It comes from other fan bases too. So other fan bases have people in their fan base that do and say negative things. That's kind of part of sports. If you ever been to a Boston game, if you ever been to a New York game, there's certain places in the US that the fan base is just nasty, you know? So it's not a Caitlin Clark thing. So like I say, if you see it, call it out. If you see it and you don't call it out, you complicit. But that's another subject for another day. People get a little sensitive when I start calling people out on racism. So other than that, you guys, man, if you made it this far in this video, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on this video. Also, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Let's get the conversation going. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for this video. It pushes me through the algorithm. I need that. Now, for those who do it on the regular, I appreciate you guys. Also, make sure you subscribe to the memberships if you want the code for the merch. I do have a website. All that stuff will be down in the description below. If you want to sign up for the membership, feel free to do so. If you guys don't want to sign up for the memberships, you're more than welcome to send your donations through Super Thanks. It's not mandatory, it's not required, it's appreciated. So do what you will with that information. And before we leave out of here, 4 things. You guys stay safe, you guys stay cool, love yourself, love each other. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.